Welcome to day 10 of our bioenergy and wellbeing reset. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about holding space for our clients or our family or friend members when we're practicing our bioenergy and what that means. And there's a few different angles that we can come from with this as well. And also on the wellbeing side, we're on a weekend today, so looking at maybe a relaxation practice and looking at another breathwork practice as well. So our wellbeing practices are all about things that we can do in any given moment on any day. We don't need to have a special setup or be in a special place or anything like that. They're all short burst things to bring self-care, self-love into our day in an easy way with ease. So on the bioenergy side, so what does holding space mean for our clients? Well, I suppose there's a few different angles I mentioned too that we can come from with this. So the first part is, at the beginning of a session, we're obviously talking to a client. So the bioenergy practice itself, it's not a talk therapy, it's an energy modality where talking doesn't need to happen. However, if a client feels a preference to talk during a session, that's absolutely fine. You just always go with the flow for what's in the moment for each client on any particular day. But when we're holding space in that conversation in the beginning, it's really about, active listening, effective listening, being able to engage with a client in a way where they feel they are heard, so that we can hold a state of presence, really parking our own stuff at the door when a client comes in to work with us. This space and time is now for the client. We've committed to giving this space and time to a client as well. So listening to somebody with not being distracted, so making sure that you have quiet space for that time for your client as well, and that a client can feel they can build up a relationship of trust, build up rapport, and build up a dynamic where they feel that they can allow their vulnerable self to come forward if that's what's necessary for them within a session as well. Sometimes as practitioners, when we work with clients, we may be the only person that our client divulges certain information to, and we need to obviously hold a confidential space with that, but also a really strong sense of presence, that a client feels that they can let all of this information out, where they may be feeling quite vulnerable, and there could be the emotional impact that's there for them as well. So we need to be able to manage that with the client, that somebody can come in with the life challenges, and this can be challenging sometimes when you start out as a practitioner, if you haven't worked in a space where you are not necessarily counselling someone, but supporting somebody in a, where there's maybe deep emotional stuff coming up for them, trauma, shock, that type of thing as well. So within our courses, we would give lots of information around how to handle these situations with clients so that you feel confident and comfortable. And we need to notice if we're being triggered by what's going on for a client as well, and we obviously would make notes of that. We're not going to do anything about it in a session, but make notes of it, that it's something that we maybe need to look at for ourselves afterwards as well. So there's a few different parts to look at with this, but that very beginning part is holding space where I'm comfortable with a client no matter what they bring to me in this session. That I feel that I have that I'm grounded, that I'm centered, and that I have the skills to know when I can handle it, or maybe when a referral is needed as well, where a client may need extra support from other modalities as well, like counselling or various things like that as well. So then holding space within the actual bioenergy session when it's taking place. So I mentioned a little while ago, we need to park our own stuff at the door, but we're human. Things can distract us in our minds. So things can come in like, I forgot to get X for the dinner, or I think I left the cooker on, or if you're working from your home space, or whatever it is. These mental thoughts can come into our minds, and that's normal. So we need to just get experienced with, you can write a little note on the side to say I can look at that later on, so I can bring myself back to this space. That's a good idea to do when you start practicing in the beginning, while you get used to being able to hold this really grounded space for a client. But what happens is, the more that you practice this work, the more that you do this work, you are able to bring yourself into a very deep, connected, grounded, peaceful, I describe it as well. Different therapists describe it in different ways, zone. So as soon as you are engaging with a client, you're able to go, all of our personal day-to-day stuff just stops. And we're able to just solely give that space to our clients. So it's like developing a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. Our intuition becomes very strong. Our connection to our higher selves, to spirit, to source becomes very strong. We become really aware of how the information that's coming to us from source, and the feeling of that as well. So this all develops as you do your bioenergy practice, and you know, it's a very supported environment within the diploma course for this to start growing as you practice as well. And some people obviously come into the course where they've practiced things that this has developed for them already, and some people are brand new to it. So we start at the very beginning and we work our way through within our bioenergy diploma course as well. So it's a really interesting aspect to it, but it is like a muscle in the sense of the more you train it, the stronger it gets. So it's a zone, that's the way I describe it anyway. It's a zone that we can go into where as soon as we enter that healing space of this time is now for this person that I'm working with, this is their time, I'm committing to this, you know, I'm coming from my heart space with this commitment, that we feel that really strong sense of peace, connectedness, being centered, as I mentioned, and feeling grounded. And it's from that space that deep healing occurs, not from distraction where we're up in our minds and there's a lot of, you know, mental thoughts going on. We practice and we get really used to knowing how to bring our energy down into our full energy system, feeling really grounded, really centered. And I suppose this is the benefit as well, in the sense that we know how to do this in our external life as well, because we can be running around doing lots of different things in our lives. And, you know, with this type of course, with our bioenergy diploma course, you get a lot of awareness, deep awareness as to how we are within our life experience on a daily basis, and what we want to choose to remain in our life experience, and what we are willing to just let go to the sides and to drift away. That we are in more alignment with what's true for us. And I'm going to do a whole topic on alignment as well, because it's a beautiful topic to cover. So I'll cover that in one of our other days as well for this reset. So I suppose that's just bringing you through an example of how we come into a certain zone when we do this type of practice. And on the well-being side, just a lovely easy practice that we can do any given day is just focusing on our in-breath. So it's just closing our eyes or having our eyes open at a soft and gentle gaze, taking 2 or 3 deep breaths in all the way down to your toes, and just really starting to notice your in-breath. Noticing the pace of your in-breath. Notice where you feel the breath hit your system. So do you feel it as it enters your nose? Do you feel it as it enters your mouth? Do you feel it as the air starts to travel down? Do you feel it as your lungs start to expand with that air coming in? So it's where do you notice it? And just taking a few moments. It's even set an alarm for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes if you can. You know, longer is great if you can as well. But if you just have a few moments just to bring ourselves back to centre, help us to bring peace into our day, calmness into our day. And if we practice this on a regular basis, any of these type of well-being practices, it translates out into the rest of our day, the rest of our life experience as well. So just if you can take a few moments today to set an alarm, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes, whatever it is that you can do, longer if you can, and just say, I'm just going to notice my in-breath. If the thoughts come in, allowing them to come in, allowing them to float on, they will float on. Thoughts are energy. They flow in, they flow out. They're a tool that we use to have this human experience. So just allowing yourself a few moments in a day, and if you don't get time to do it today, just to come back to this and to try and practice it another day. If it resonates for you, obviously, we need to feel the love in our heart for these things that we want to do as well. But really just noticing our in-breath, taking a few moments. How does it feel for my in-breath to be there for me in this moment each day? And it can feel different each time. Where do I notice my in-breath? Do I feel the air hot, warm, cold? What type of sensations are there for me? So it's such a beautiful practice to do. Okay, so I hope you get to try it out and to enjoy. And we'll see you for our day 11 reset the next time. So I hope you're getting to enjoy these resets, and they're on all our social channels. So YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, So you can check in on the past ones as well if you haven't had a chance to look at them as well. Okay, wishing you a wonderful day ahead and see you soon. Thanks guys.